Welcome back everyone. So we're having a look at the mod Hunterborn SSE. So with this mod, it's quite literally pretty much adds / overhauls the hunting for Skyrim. Now technically Skyrim never really had a proper hunting system. For obviously it's literally just, as I'll quickly show here, it has literally always been essentially manual loot or stuff like this, which this is what you normally get off animals. So Hunterborn pretty much adds a whole new system, which is literally, as you can still see there, you can field dress, or you can pick up field dress, stuff like that. You pretty much hunting, it literally adds proper hunting, so you're actually skinning animals, doesn't actually remove the skin like in Red Dead or something like that. But yes, you essentially skin animals, you can harvest ingredients and meat. Now, interestingly enough, not all animals can be picked up. The biggest is actually the mammoth. I'll actually show this here very quickly. I do have a whole heap of carcasses, so actually we'll go through and I'll show actually some. So you will get a lot of animal fat as well. So we get like the cave bear carcasses, chicken ones. Obviously some do but don't actually have a proper thing at your cow carcasses. You can actually as well do dragons, but you can't obviously pick them up. I'll show something interesting with some of the crafting stuff in a minute, with the deer / elk. Because I only literally just found out about this when I was actually crafting some of the armor. So obviously we got foxes. Nearly all these will be like that. It's like they're the frost troll. Now you can obviously skin trolls, but you can't actually do anything much like that. And we got different values. We've got the mud crabs, goat carcasses. Actually, can we chuck a couple of them down? There we go. So that's how they look. So when you get them and like you chuck them down, type of stuff. We got the hawker. I like that. I find it interesting. So some of them do have carcasses like an actual animation. We've got the large mud crab. Didn't we have a medium mud crab? No, never mind. So yeah, as is nearly everything. Well, there we go. There's the mammoth. This is the big one. There we go. So very cool and like that. Now again, as well as we can still see here, we have the different types of stuff. I'll show that in the skinning bench thing over there. Like that. So the rabbit has a sort of thing. You also get ruin pelts as well. So that's when you're sort of starting out. So there's literally pretty much anything that's an animal. As there's only things, I haven't actually found any werewolves to try on, but you can do that. But as there's like, for I've seen trolls, you can skin, but you can't pick them up. As there's dragons. I think trolls are about the... Oh, no. Spiders, you can't either pick those up either. So, with it as well, we get these powers. The main powers you'll kind of be using is forage, which is... Actually, I don't think we can use that inside the city. No, we have to be outside. I'll probably show that. Well, actually, I might show that in a minute. I'm pretty sure what all it is, once you max everything out, because there are levels as well, with the foraging... So we'll still see that you can get stuff. So you can stuff. I think at first you only get like the random plants, but then you can choose what you want to get. But you can forage for stuff like wood, edible plants, which is like ingredients. What is that? I'll have a look soon. But yeah, there's a whole heap of stuff like that. Primitive cooking. I haven't actually looked at the. I don't think I've actually no. There is a. I know where there is actually a cooking thing. As is now sort of thing when you're out on the go. And we got that's our actual thing for crafting. Sense direction is kind of useless for the fact of it's literally... So it's like that. It's literally just telling you where you're facing. So I think that's probably the most useless unless you're playing with HUD off. And you're doing like obviously a proper survival thing. Because... This works obviously well in survival. Did we put on the... There we go, primitive cooking. So you'll have to be near a heat source. So something like this. Boom. So we got all the stuff we can make. Interestingly enough, the strange brew... I've tried that. I don't know what it actually does. So I don't know if that actually is specifically a survival mode thing. I did not try that on survival mode. I haven't actually tried any of this on survival mode. But obviously stuff like this, I've got a whole heap of mammoth meat. But obviously stuff like this would give you food on survival mode because it is actual food. You still see stuff like that as well. See, that's one there. So the edible mushrooms, edible roots, sort of thing. So that's still with the foraging thing. So with the tanning rack and sort of with pelts. So this is an interesting thing. Actually, you better go back to the other crafting thing. So, and again, this is all max level stuff, and as I'll show that off soon. Dividing knife, that's another thing. I don't really know why you'd really use that, but again, if you're doing survival, our basic knives. Now, interestingly enough, I am maxed out on literally everything, and I still get perfect pelts. So I find that interesting. So yes, I do like the bone armor. It's kind of like it's either exactly like Forsworn armor or it's similar. I think it's meant to be using like the different bones and whatnot. So this northern stuff, so it has, you got your deer hide and you got other deer hide. The weird thing is the elk give deer hide and the deer give deer hide. So it's weird. But yes, the hardest thing is actually the snow fox pelts. But again, if you're trying to do your skinning, I'd have to say just try and find a heap of mammoths, because that's probably going to be your best thing as well. We've got bone clubs, bone bow, bone sword. I like the bone sword. That does look awesome. And the mammoth club. So if you want to have something like that, you can sure have that. There's still the Elven Mastercraft. I still don't know why that's technically Elven for, but whatever. And then we've got more Mastercraft stuff. Same sort of thing here. So it's essentially better stuff, and these are essentially dragon bone bone arrows, essentially. Probably the easiest one I would literally say is for like obviously the 120, because 60 bone bits are obviously really easy to make. Once you get really into it. With these, same thing with jewelry. I don't really know you'd have tracking. When you're foraging as well, yeah, sometimes it might say you've picked up the tracks of like a fox that's heading south, sort of thing. What is it? The best one would be that one, the pink moon. For that reason, materials houses from carcasses usually bountiful. All the other ones are kind of a yay nay. I don't really know. I have a feeling that those are actually going to be I don't really know where you'd get those from, but I think those would be the werewolf form stuff as well. So but yes, definitely I'd have to say is the pink moon is probably the best thing for using. And then here is all the bone bits, or bits of bone. So it's like with stuff like here, the superior 5 superior mammoth tusks. I can't remember actually how you get that. It will also make bone meal, great stuff. But yeah, probably your mammoth tusks are kind of going to be the easy sort of stuff like that. Although, what's that? That's 5 times, yeah, I think that's all about right. Although 25 bone bits, so again, with the arrows and stuff, it's kind of easy to make. That's as decorative. I think those are still the same sort of thing. They're still more decorations. You know, food, well, that's technically more ingredients that you can make. I haven't tested any of those, but because I don't know what the ingredients they make, so you can find that one out in your own time if you're wanting to do stuff like that. But that's the cool thing of this mod, is that it adds so much more. But yes, anyway, with the tanning rack, so I think that's the actual deer, and then that is your elk. So you get that from the male and female elks, and as well. So yes, it's cool. So technically, if your skinning is high enough, and as is technically you need a knife, but I've also dropped my skinning knife and still got perfect pelts. So I don't know if that's just a glitch in the mod. If it is, that ain't never gonna get fixed. So although that might be in one of the settings, that's another thing we'll be looking at. Hunter's bedroll, if I haven't done that one for a while. I have used this in the past. I think that's literally just a bedroll you can just chuck down. But yes, if you have like the perfect pelts, which again, most things you're going to be skinning, you're going to get like the normal pelt, and then you're going to get a perfect pelt. So from say one deer, you're going to end up essentially getting technically 3 pelts from nearly everything. It technically works out to be. I don't know what you'd really have the horse hides for, although it would it be. Actually, yeah, if we get a horse hide, does that actually give us anything? Oh, there we go, more leather. So it's like stuff like that. So, well, there we go. So I can get 2 pelts in that. So with the mammoth hide section, so it's like that. That's a poor part. As well, the mammoth, that does take the longest to actually harvest. And that's the sort of thing as well with survival mode. Time will pass, so it's like it might take you an hour to skin each section, which is obviously a really cool thing. Makes sense, and not just get one tusk and one bit of mammoth meat or something from them. So yes, it might take about 6 hours, 6 to 12 hours or something to fully skin a mammoth. But yeah, so essentially anything that's poor or there we go. So ruins give them the least, but the poor stuff gives about 4. So you're not really going to run out of leather or leather strips realistically with this. So yes, with like I was saying, so this is the deer. So as is with that's the deer part you're going to get from that. And then as is the elk selection is going to be another deer hide, which again is weird for that reason. When you don't have one of the deer hides, what one is it? Well, if I check out the actual deer hide, it should only go back to 1. So yeah, I don't know if that is for some reason, some type of glitch in the mod or anything, but as is, it won't get fixed. If there are, if there are any glitches you find, it will not get fixed, quite frankly. I'll go ahead and show off the foraging very quickly. But yes, as is, I don't think this is ever going to get changed. I do think someone else has ported another version of this, which I think is like a lighter version, but also has sort of, I don't know if it's upgraded or not. I'm not 100% sure on that one. But anyway, what was looking at? That's right, foraging. So with foraging, and again, this is max level. No, we can't forage here. So yes, you technically have to be out in the wilderness to actually do this. Still can't forage there. I'll just actually go up to my my place. If anyone's wondering about that message popping up in the corner, I do have other mods installed, like vampire mods and stuff I'm testing out. So, just in case anyone there is wondering. But anyway, so it's like, there we go. So we can forage for anything, firewood, edibles, which again, the mushrooms, the bones, and ingredients. So if we do like bones, so it's like 9, then, well, there we go, if we do again. So we get, so again, that's like an hour. So grime color covered books. That's another thing. Where is it? So I spent an hour or 2 working on the pages, start discovering old tones, see what it contains. So something like that. So I can't remember actually what these give. So arcane totem added. Oh. Don't know why that was another thing. There we go. So extract scroll or spell book. So that sort of thing, like with that. So you will need a inkwell or inkwell and quill, and the ancient tome. We'll just do extract scroll this time around. So this is a really cool thing, is obviously you can just find books and stuff. So there we go, Frost Ruin. So you can essentially get books. Frost There we go. So, yeah, really, that's the really cool thing with it is you might find one of these and then you can, obviously, again, if you've got your ink in that, you can obviously then go and make a spell book sort of thing. So, technically, if you want to spend a few hours, we'll do bones again. Well, see, there we go. Another grime-covered strong box. And then we go there again. And this usually has, like, jewelry in it, so stuff like that. So, again, arrow 2. Again, survival mode, you can obviously do stuff like this, but I'd say definitely bring some food. There we go. And like that. So what are we doing? Depth. Oh. A bit more there. There we go. So there we go. So again, not too hard for stuff like that. Although I will very quickly start. I'll quickly test this out. Actually, I will switch over to survival mode. So as if we do forage bones again. There we go. We got an amulet. Actually, it kind of seems like bones actually might be the way to go to try and find stuff like that. There we go. So we're hungry now. Cold, edible berries. So yeah, if we do bones one more time, do we find fatigue, all that, all the good stuff, of survival mode? So there we go. So now we're failing to forge anything, so a bit unfortunate. But again, with the primitive cooking, do we still have? Don't I have any torches on me? Ah. Well, oh, that's right, we can't fast travel. Ah, God.
What do you need, my fave?
Okay, well. I'm trying to think now what I can do. No, I think I might have something in there.
What do you need, my fave?
Probably should have turned on survival mode for that. Yeah, I've got nothing there. What if we... That's technically no heat source. Okay, yeah, I've got nothing there. We'll just have to go back to Whiterun. I'll go back there and have a look at the cooking station thing, because I do want to know what... because as I never had a proper look at that. As is for the actual meals. So, although... Oh, there we go. That's still there. Although, yes, yeah, I can't really... I could wait again, but I'm not doing that. But yes, as I'm like 100% sure that stuff would actually, although... Okay, we'll switch back again. Very quickly. There we go. Oh, there we go. Everything's back to normal. So... Well, there we go. So, boiled cabbage and mammoth. Add stamina, restores. There we go. So, 380 points of health. That's actually really good. Boiled spider paste. Some elk. Well, yeah, elk sort of stuff. Troll meat. Damn, that's actually really, really good stuff, actually. Love this food. Actually, that's actually not bad. I mean, I will admit, I don't really play a lot of Skyrim survival mode. I don't really play a lot of Skyrim Fallout at times. I will admit that. See, that's probably a really good one, because that's only like half weight. It's 220 odd, so... Yeah, I'd probably say anything that's like half a weight type of thing would be great. Hunters thing. See, so that's another thing. So again, that's not a bad one. Mammoth jerky, although see again, mammoth jerky, that'd probably be a better one. You get 4 of those. That's only like half. Well, yeah, 0.4 weight, so that's a really good one. So yeah, I'd probably yeah. Some of these are actually really good. The percentages, a whole heap of them are wool coat. Is it okay? So we do have some of that. So yeah, there we go. We got boiled skeever tail. So that's another thing. Oh yeah, char ras, what are they called? Those are another thing you can skin as well. I think those are all the other stuff. So then if we do primitive cooking, so yeah, it does add all that stuff. So technically if you're out on the road, I'd have to probably say something like skewered mammoth. I'd probably say some of that. Although, again, the Reachman's soup would not be bad either. See, I'd actually say Reachman's soup would be great, because you could just forage for that stuff all day and all night. And very quickly, before we finish up, I will show with the mammoth. Although, see, like with the bear, when you field, so you have to field dress it first. Oop. And then, like with that, we skin pelt, and then we get a fine one. But yes, with the mammoth, when you field dress this, so it's 1 in the morning, and we do skin pelt. So that skinning one section of the carcass, it will take more time to skin the rest. Okay, so that's actually a lot. So that's only like, I was thinking it was taking like 6 or 12 hours. So, say 190 or say 120. Alright, so it only takes about several minutes. Although again, that is technically as well I'm maxed out level, so stuff like that. So. If again that all kind of literally all depend on sort of how you're going with that. So that's as literally going to be a yay none, something like that. Although if we do stats skinning, hold on, change to novice for skinning. So if we don't do anything like that. So yeah, it's like, say, 140. Let's see if it changes it. So yeah, there we go. So it was 140, so it's like 2 hours it essentially took for that. So yeah, nearly 4 in the morning. So yeah, it level does change. But this sort of thing is, actually, what about an elk? What about chicken? Say about 6:18 in the morning. Actually, won't worry about doing that one. Try that one. So again, 6:20. So yeah, when you're early, sort of thing like that, it's going to take a fair while. So again, 7:30. About an hour and 10 minutes. So yeah, I'd honestly have to say is probably in the beginning of it. Again, if you're playing on survival mode, start small. For that reason of you don't really want to be trying to skin a mammoth. My vampire form's a bit whacked. I don't have the white, pale white fur like you normally get. But yes, as is, I'd have to definitely say that is, yes, if you're starting this out in survival mode, start off small. Obviously, go hunt some deer. Sell that stuff obviously to the merchants and stuff like that or whatever. Although you could technically do a fair bit on smithing because of all the hide and whatnot. So there's so many possibilities. Anyway, as this, I hope one has enjoyed. It's been a bit longer than I expected to be, but I think I got all the real useful information out in the beginning of it. I will say that's why you try and get all the important stuff out in the beginning, and yeah, all the other stuff at the end. Anyway, as this, hope one has enjoyed. I shall see everybody next time.